Most of us often chase rather pumps than established memes. And a green candle is somehow spoiled for us until it's screenshot. We stare at charts, forgetting it changes nothing. We watch charts, but not ourselves. This is a disaster. For as a result of confusing dopamine hits with actual profit, we are destroying our net worth. We are so tied up in FOMO and charts that we've lost all conviction. Time to wake up. What is alpha? Obviously, nobody can say, because it isn't just drawing lines on charts. It isn't rotation meta, that's just an idea. Alpha is the Giga cycle cannot be explained in words.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
Not much. Glad to have you here, Mike. Appreciate you, man.
Man, appreciate y'all having me, man. It's been a while. Haven't been on here, but it's just been a while being back, interacting with other people in the space. You know what I mean?
What have you been doing? Living your best life? Not even looking at charts and stuff? What have you been?
Nah, I haven't really been looking at charts. I mean, of course, I've still been invested, but I've just kind of stepped away from the space a little bit, man. I created a couple businesses, you know, had some personal things I had to kind of organize out. And
that's why you look so healthy and
yeah, right.
And I mean, I tell you, I've been working out for 3 years consistently, man. I started back in October 2022, man, and I've been, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday consistently, man. So this has definitely paid off.
When would you say you stepped away? When would you say was it the end of last cycle? Was it?
I would say when I looked before the first video I put out before coming back, it was 6 months before my last video.
Okay. Wow.
So,
all right.
decent time away from the space. And then crypto, that's like a year and a half, 2 years worth of time, you know?
Yeah.
It's like dog years, bro. I miss one week. It's like 7 years in my real life.
Yeah.
Dude, I was telling Mike that I remember him from last cycle. I used to watch he did a bunch of like good tutorial videos, and one specifically. So at one point in like the middle of last cycle on an iPhone in Trust Wallet, the browser stopped working, and like you couldn't go to PancakeSwap to do anything. And I'm like brand new, and Trust Wallet X, those things used to make, I mean, God, the headache. And I remember just like going on YouTube, I'm going on Reddit, and I'm trying to figure it out because I'm like trying to just get out of all this stuff. And then I come across this Mike the Investor guy, and it's a video specifically on that. And he like goes through the whole thing, and I was like, what? That was like the first video I watched, and then I kept watching his videos. Great content, Ben.
You know what they say about that. You either leave soon enough to become Mike the Investor, or stay long enough to watch yourself become BitBoy.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That guy was epic last cycle.
Yeah, crazy. And this cycle has been absolutely like unexpected for everybody. I feel like everyone is like, I didn't expect this, or this was the worst bull run ever, or you know, like it's been crazy, you know, different opinions of what's been happening.
Yeah, for sure.
That alt season got replaced with a kind of a premature, if you will, meme season, right? And as we're finding out now, heavily, I mean, we know like finance is manipulated, we know crypto is manipulated, like of course. Yeah. But now, in light of some of those recent lawsuits, you're finding out, and the truth is coming to light, just how heavily manipulated it is.
I agree. Yeah.
So, Mike, for the listeners, where can they find you? Where could they follow you? I know you're on a few different platforms. YouTube's your main one, I would say, right?
Yeah. I would say the handle's the same at Mike the Investor, YouTube, X, and uh Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah. And I actually
Nice.
do post, I got decent amount of videos on there, some workout videos on there if anyone is, interested to see does this guy actually work out.
Yeah, no, I saw a couple.
So
That's what caught my eye, to be honest with you. I was like, oh damn, Mike's been lifting. So
yeah,
yeah,
man.
let's talk about that. So when it comes to fitness, where did fitness start from you? Are we talking sports as a kid, high school, afterwards? But where does it begin?
Yeah, so I would say this. I've always been a kid that played sports. I played basketball, baseball, a year football, a year soccer, but I played the most years in basketball and baseball. But I've always been super, super, super skinny. And now, to be honest, I don't even feel like I'm big. I still feel like I'm a little guy in the gym, right? But I just you kind of get to a point, and I always like to say you have to kind of put on some of that grown man weight, right? And
Yeah.
it came a point where it was just like let's go. And actually me and my brother-in-law started going. We was like, you know what, we're gonna just go. And we started going, and from there, I just stayed consistent. I was tracking my food, I was weighing myself, you know what I mean? And from there, once you started seeing a little bit of progress, it's like, why would I stop? And then when I look at where I'm at now, as far as like size compared to where I was at before I started, it's like I never go back to that person. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. My uncles, my older alcoholic uncles, they would see me. I was pretty good size at a young age, and they'd look
Hmm.
at me and go, "Oh, when you're my age, you won't look like that." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll look better, bro. Like you don't understand. Like this isn't like I go to the gym once in a while for vanity. It becomes a lifestyle, right? It
It
becomes this
does, man.
dopamine feedback loop where you see this progress. That progress gives you that reward, and it's just you just keep going. Like once it becomes a part of your life, you can't imagine not. Like I'm sure at this point, you miss a couple days in the gym, you don't feel like the same person. You don't feel that same that same energy.
You almost feel guilty. You know what I'm saying? If you miss a day or something, it's like, bro, like how did I miss that day? And so the next time you're in there, you hit it twice as hard. You know what I mean? So I and I say this too. I think a lot of people don't realize how much it's just going to the gym, or if you're not in the gym, just if you're working, even if you're working out at home or in your garage or whatever, as long as you're being active on the weekly basis, right? Trying to be your best version. I think people don't realize how much it really does for you, not just your physique, but the mental clarity, the confidence, the outside respect level does increase that you get from people, right? I don't know how deep we want to go into the weeds with this, but if you're a
Go
guy,
deep, bro. We go deep.
if you know what I mean, higher testosterone, right, which works in a lot of different areas, makes you stronger, right? And in the dating market, if you're a guy who love women like myself, it's going to transition into that. So I mean, it helps in so many ways in life.
You got to crank up that SMV.
Totally,
Sexual
totally agree
market
with that.
value, man.
That's so do you say what kind of workout schedule? What kind of workout schedule on you? At three days a week, 5 days a week?
I'm
You
3 days, so I've been doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
okay?
Yep. Now I know, and I get back to this, but I know this upcoming year, I want to get back into jujitsu because I have done that for years. I'm a blue belt in jujitsu. I don't
Oh,
really
all right, nice.
post it. Some things you got to keep private. You know what I mean? So I do jujitsu. So I want to get back either into that, which eventually I will, or I want to take a little boxing. But I'm gonna still be going to the gym on top of that. So that's
Bro,
something I'm gonna,
I wish
incorporate.
they still had the influencer fight club, man. I got to do that a year ago in karate
How did that
combat.
go, bro? How did that go?
Dude, it was the coolest experience, man, because they do something still. They do crypto fight night. I actually know the organizers there. Maybe that's something you'd be interested in, but there's one thing about training, right? There's the other thing about having kind of a high stake, high
Yeah.
profile fight that you have to show up for. Like, so
Facts.
the first fight I was supposed to do, I trained my ass off for 3 months, and the guy agreed to fight up. And then he just saw how juicy and giant and jacked I looked 2 weeks before, pulled out of the fight on me. Trained for 3 months, and he pulled out of the fight. And then about 6 months later, on 1 month notice, I got a call for another one. And I was like, let's do it. So I had a 1-month camp for it, got injured immediately going into the camp, couldn't spar, couldn't throw kicks, had a 10-day camp, but still showed up, won the fight. One of the best experiences I've ever had, man.
Man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's what's up.
They don't do that anymore? Like, or does Karate Combat not sponsor it? Is that what it is?
I think so. I think IFC, George Cryptos R Us was doing the promotion for them. And I don't know, maybe they didn't see value in it, or maybe George didn't have time to do it anymore. I'm not really sure about how the back end is. Obviously, Karate Combat's still a league, but IFC is not a thing. They do still do Crypto Fight Night, which is cool. I probably want to fight in those ones. I was calling out BitLord, but you know, the R&R, I think for them is not there for me. But there's something about Karate Combat because you're literally fighting on a pro organization. Like you're going after like 10 different pro fighters. We had Boss Rutan. The first one I was supposed to go to, GSP commentated for it, which would have been crazy. Imagine your first fight. You have GSP,
the legend, George St. Pierre,
like,
man.
Insane, bro.
Legend.
He starts talking to you about dinosaurs and aliens. I love that guy.
Bro, these dinosaurs are fake, man. I'm like, George, I know, brother.
I know.
Come on, shiny.
Nice. So blue belt in jiu-jitsu, is that something you did like as a kid? You picked that up as an adult?
No. That was adult. That was adult years. Yeah. I think if I go back, I don't want to do it here, but I can go back and look at some of my archive photos and I can see. But I believe it was 2020 was the year I got my blue belt.
So like COVID, right in the beginning of COVID type thing?
Yeah. So it was I think 2020, I think. But I can go back and get and find out for sure.
What got you interested in that?
I've been interested in martial arts as a kid. Used to watch martial art movies with my pops, man, growing up, and just something I wanted. And I actually started with karate first. You know what I mean? As an adult, kind of transitioned to taekwondo, and then transitioned to jiu-jitsu, and kind of fell in love with it, man.
Yeah, my
it's
son's,
almost it's almost the close. If it's not MMA sparring, it's almost the closest thing you can get to, you know, real life situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. My son's 5. He actually tonight we got back before he got his purple belt. It's
shoot.
Funny, man. Like you make him like punch through like a little piece of wood. Anytime he does anything, he just pretends he's Spider-Man, which is hilarious because like he's Spider-Man's not a ninja, but it's good. It's just good discipline. I think karate is good for younger kids like that. You know, they got to clean the mats. They got to listen. They got to sit there. They got to sit still. They got to move. I think karate is cool for especially for boys because they're just so nuts. So it just helps them calm down and like, again, he just like pretends he's a superhero the whole time. He like makes like superhero noises when he's doing the kicks and stuff. It's hilarious. But yeah, that was literally tonight. He got his purple belt. But it was they got me so good. It was supposed to be almost like an MMA. Like it was supposed to be like jiu-jitsu with karate, which is what I wanted. And they kind of do like the smallest bit of jiu-jitsu. Like
I got you.
But like they just knew that was what everyone's searching for on the internet. But the school is great. I love the people. So it all worked out. But I think at some point, probably like in the next year, I want to put him in an actual BJJs, like a real school. I think that's super important for little kids just to learn how to throw some around. You know, just know that you can defend yourself. That size isn't really a factor like that. I think that's what's good about jiu-jitsu, especially for younger kids to know like, oh yeah, like this guy might be bigger. You don't got to be afraid. This is all we got to do. So I think that'll be a good transition. All right.
Yeah,
so your work.
Karate's a good base for sure. It's just not like the most practical fight system.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it's
well-rounded. But again, like a tremendous base, like generating power, instilling the discipline and everything like that. Yeah, that's a great base to do for sure. I always imagine like what would have happened if I found like something like that because I fought so much growing up, just like fist fighting and stuff.
Yeah,
so I always imagine like, oh, what if I would have found something to actually channel that outlet into? You know?
Right? So stupid, dude. Same here. Just so much stupid things.
Quick question for you, Cryptic. So I know Shine, you know, of course, fights and does that MMA type stuff. What about you? Are you into any type of self-defense or martial arts or anything?
No,
Or thinking
unfortunately
about
not.
getting into it at all potentially?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. I always wanted to. So I'll take that back. For like a year and a half, I went to college in Albany, in New York, University of Albany, and there was like a bunch of amateur fighters, and what they would do is they would go into the gym. I worked in the gym as like a work study because I was a poor kid, so I got work study. So I worked in the gym and the game room, and these guys would come into the gym on campus, and they would look for like people that were in shape, and they would say like, "Would you want to train martial arts?" And they would say like, "Come back at like 10 o'clock at night," and in like the basement of the universe, like the basement of the gym was like all these like little wrestling rooms, right? And dude, they basically ran like an underground fight camp down there. But what it really was these guys were too poor to like find people to help them train. Like they needed like sparring
Uh,
partners. And that's
I
what, so
got
they
you.
just picked all the biggest dudes they could find, all different types of weight classes. And there was like, I kind of got like this underground street knowledge of Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. It was a lot of fun though. Like, I got to be honest, like learned a bunch. I learned like what a bitch I am. That was the first thing I learned. Just like the first day, like checking kicks and Muay Thai, like blood blisters, like all
Yeah.
over my legs. And I
Yeah, they
was like,
hurt. They hurt.
dude, I'm like, this is like, and I love UFC. I've been watching UFC for probably 15 years. And it's
Yeah.
like, I always knew those leg kicks hurt, but like, we're just like doing the check kick drills. I'm like, this is insane. Those aren't human people. There's not real. Those aren't real people then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
I
did
got
that.
hit with 2 leg kicks during my fight. I didn't even feel them during the fight. And then afterwards, I could barely walk on my leg for like 2 weeks. And I didn't even feel these kicks like during the fight. Like they
That
weren't
adrenaline.
like, bro, but I don't think they were that hard of kicks, right? It just hurt that much. Like
Did he hit the nerve though? Did he hit the nerve?
I don't think so.
No,
I
your
don't think
foot. That's crazy. Like when Chandler, when he got hit in that, when your foot goes out, happened to Sean O'Malley too. I think it even happened to Cejudo. Yeah, that's dude. Like, yeah, imagine like taking a kick from like Alex Pereira, dude. Just one of those chop kicks in your front, your lead leg.
Over and over and
Gaethje,
over.
Justin Gaethje, leg kick from him is
Dude,
brutal
he's fighting
too.
Paddy Pimblett next month. That's an interesting fight because I
Yes,
used
who
to
do you
think
think wins that? I'm gonna give. Who do y'all think win that, man?
Probably Paddy.
I was gonna say I think Paddy because I think he's more well-rounded. Even though I think Gaethje is more of a brawler, probably hits a little harder,
dude.
but it brawly and even though he can wrestle a little bit, he doesn't have
Paddy
that.
dubbed him.
Say that
he
again.
taps him out. Yeah.
I was gonna say I think Paddy taps him, man. I think he gets him on the ground, and I think he finds a way to tap him, man.
I think so,
his ground game's too good, bro. It's too good, man.
Especially after the Chandler fight, like I'm not gonna be honest, I thought Chandler was gonna just hit him with one of those Superman punches, and dude, he like embarrassed him, man. I mean, that was like you said, just he was too well rounded. Chandler couldn't even hit him, couldn't even get within like closing range of him. And I love Justin Gaethje. He's probably like one of my favorite fighters of all time. It's hard for me to count him out of any fight, but I agree. He's not going to get knocked out. We know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Paddy has the only thing I think Gaethje has going for him is Paddy keeps his hands down. You know, Paddy gets hit, and yeah, like if he's not on that bike, he gets a couple of those leg kicks, dude. Khabib said that was the hardest he's ever been hit was Gaethje's leg kicks.
And he throws them like he has like a crazy way of whipping his hips too. Like he can throw them in the clinch. Like, it's very unorthodox.
Dude, super close. I don't know. When he fought Fiziev, dude, he hit Fiziev with a head kick from like jab distance. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So that's why it's like hard for me to just count him out. But I think you're right. I think if Paddy, he's so much bigger than him. If he could just stay on the outside and just
age too, bro. There's just a passing of the torch right now. Like you see that with Chandler, you see that with Gaethje. Like there's so many up and coming talented fighters. And of course, you can never count like someone with power and technique like Gaethje out. But I think we're just really witnessing a passing of the torch right now.
Yeah,
dude, that White House card.
Good,
first one, I was like, the most.
There's going to be 11 title fights. Every fight will be a title fight. It'll be the best card. Tremendous.
I was dying. It's like, it's like I think there's that many weight classes, but it's just crazy to think that UFC came. I remember having to like get them on like literally like a DVD to watch. Like I couldn't even watch them on TV in the beginning,
Mhm.
and now it's like they're going to be fighting on the White House lawn. Pretty cool to see.
Here's a good question since we're talking about fights.
I mean, if my dad, so my grandfather was like a professional boxer in like fought in Madison Square Garden. So like my dad, like my family boxed. Like I've been watching boxing since I was 5 years old. I remember watching Anthony Joshua sell out Wembley when he was like 19 years old, dude. Like literally probably 15, 16 years ago. He is a phenomenal talent.
Olympic
Gold medalist. Yeah. Dude, and he has been like I'm not kidding. I bet you if we look that up, he sold out Wembley at like 20 years old. You know, he just wasn't really big in America. He is a freak. If that fight is even remotely real, he sends him into the shadow realms. He's
See the size difference too, bro?
Dude, it's 27 pounds, 9-inch reach differential, and I think it's like 5 inches in height, 4 or 5 inches in height. I mean,
it's the opposite of like how he uses. It's the opposite size disparity of his usual fights.
And it's like one of those things where could all of Jake Paul's other fights been like fixed? I don't know. One thing I will say is like you compare all those, like Shine just said, outside of the physical part. Yeah, like look at the size difference, dude.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm gonna just say this, man, for entertainment purposes only. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, let's be real.
And it's like, let's just say that all his other fights were fixed, right? Not saying that's the truth, but let's just say that. The difference between all those other people and Anthony Joshua has probably had at least 5 $100 million purse fights, at least. All his other opponents did not have money like that. Like Anthony Joshua knows.
But it still drew the attention for him to make that type of money.
Yeah, for sure. But so what I mean is like you're not buying off Anthony Joshua. Like there's not an amount of money, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Like those other guys, like they didn't have hundreds of millions of dollars like Anthony Joshua does. And like Anthony Joshua also knows he probably still has at least $200 million fights that he could do, especially now that like Saudi Arabia is throwing money around like this. Like Tyson Fury, that's probably $100 million fight for him. Usyk, maybe he fights Usyk again. So it's like I don't think you could get Anthony Joshua to play along with any of this. I think he goes in there and boxes him and proves a point for boxing. Dude, like that Klitschko fight that he had.
You look at who he's fought; it's just like insane.
Dude, bro. Usyk is arguably the best heavyweight of like our gen, like the last 20 years.
Arguably the best heavyweight ever, bro.
Yeah. So he lost to him twice. The Ruiz fight was crazy. That first one, I watched that. I remember watching that live. That was crazy.
And then Ruiz party, bro.
Yeah, Ruiz.
So question. Well, 2 questions in one. So you guys feel that Anthony wins the fight. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes?
It's legit.
And then 2, how do you think he's going to win the fight?
Brutal knockout.
Yes. Brutal knockout.
Unless there could be a bunch of clauses in the contract.
And I was gonna say, I think you can make a entertaining fight without putting a massive stain on someone's resume.
Yeah, if he even survives, if Paul even survives, it's a feather in his cap. Like he could lose every single round. If he doesn't get knocked out, he loses nothing.
Yeah, kind of like the Mayweather McGregor, right? That went 10 to 8 rounds. You know. He was, he didn't really lose there in that sense, McGregor. But if this dude just gets sent into the shadow realm in the first or second round, that's a tough. I
think anything but a brutal knockout, and honestly, I don't even see that happening. But I think anything but a brutal knockout in the first 2, maybe 3 rounds, Jake Paul won at this point, right? And I don't mean like he won the fight, but I mean like in the people's eyes. He did what he was supposed to. He lasted, right? So they're not going to really count that against him. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Conor McGregor thing. Even though he lost and technically got beat by TKO, his fan base didn't count that against him. You know what I mean?
He didn't go down.
Exactly.
He didn't go down. They stopped the fight standing up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think the same kind of thing we could see here. play out.
Did you see what he did to Ngannou though?
Yeah.
Did you see what Anthony Joshua did to Ngannou, dude?
He showed
that
it was skill to this. That's what he showed.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like,
That was
you know,
and
you
like
can
dude,
have
Ngannou
power,
is a
but
scary
it's
man,
skill.
dude. That's a scary guy, and he just oof, man. Yeah, it'll be fun though. You know what stinks is that it's Netflix, right? So it's not it's cool that it's free in that sense, but it's not pay-per-view in the sense where like you get the metrics. Like Netflix will tell us what the viewer count was if they want to. Like we'll have no like I bet that draws in a lot of views. We just won't really know. They don't need to release any of that.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm curious how many people watched. The last fight, who fought on there the last time? On the East Coast, dude, it was so late by the time the fight started. I missed it. It was like 12, it was like almost 1 o'clock in the morning by the time
Who was
it was
that?
back in September. So whenever I think
Boxing is so much pageantry too, like the amount of just time and common commercials in between every single fight.
I don't know if you saw the UFC for that Paramount deal. They moved the times down, right? So the main card on the East Coast would start at 10 p.m. Another one, it's terrible. I've been watching every fight at like 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night, and they moved it from 10 to 9, which is great. So now that main event happens, you know, they should be fighting by midnight instead of 1 o'clock, which is huge for me. It's a big difference. Getting old now. I need that hour. That helps.
I got you. So I got one more question as far as UFC, and then I got a workout question for you guys. So the UFC question I have: what do you think about Amanda Nunes stepping back out?
Yeah, who's she? Kayla Harris, right?
Dude,
I think so.
The only fight for her to come back to, man. That's the only fight for her to come back to. Obviously, like that's a tough matchup, man. Harris
it is, man.
Giant. She's absolutely massive, top tier grappling. Nunes has the edge, striking 100%. It's a
they trained together. They've trained together. Yeah, for a few years. So to me, for Nunes to come out means
when was
that
her last fight, man? Like
a couple years ago, dude.
Yeah,
at least two years ago. But for her to come out of retirement for that fight tells me that she saw something when they trained. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Because she could walk away and she's the best ever for a female fighter ever. I don't think anyone could touch her.
She's still the best ever, even if she loses competitively. Like, I don't think there's anything for her to lose here, right? Like, Kayla Harris has so much work to do before she can be put in that GOAT conversation.
Do you know if they're fighting at 145 or 135?
That would make a huge difference. I don't even know if Kayla can. Well, it would have to be 135. There's no 145 in the UFC anymore.
Oh, so that's another thing. That is different, dude. She walks around at 170.
I was gonna say Amanda Nunes is she's a big girl, man. Like,
yeah,
she's
that
solid.
Cyborg fight was awesome when she knocked out Cyborg. I didn't see that. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't. I thought that was not gonna end like that.
That took the cake, bro. You could never question her again after that, man. That was dude. I'm picturing it right now, man. Like I'm picturing it, man. That was
Cyborg like drops to one knee, gets back up.
Yes. And what's crazy is there's people who never really saw Cyborg until she got to the UFC, and she was just mollywopping people in the other.
She was so scary.
She was Vanderlei, as the great Joe Rogan would say. She was Vanderlei Silva in a dress.
Yeah, she was. No, she was. That's actually a great analogy.
That's so mean, bro.
Oh man,
she was scary, man.
She was
scary
man.
chick.
She was, and she walked around pretty heavy too.
She was another one, like 170, 180 pounds. That cut was like, dude, Kayla Harrison cuts for 12 weeks to make 135. I watched her talk about it and this whole thing. 12 weeks. That's tough, man.
Yeah, I did. I cut, what was it, maybe 25 pounds or something for my fight.
How did that feel? I know that felt brutal.
I mean, it wasn't actually that bad because it depends on your body type, right? For me, I have
how much of that was water, you think?
I have a lot. Like I have
A lot,
because
yeah.
the bigger your muscles are, right? If you're like a lean guy, trying to cut's really hard. You have a lot less weight, a lot less glycogen. Like even right now, my weight fluctuates without doing any weight cutting or anything. I cut between I'll be up to 94 kilos one day, and then I'll weigh myself again like a day or two later. Maybe I hit the sauna, maybe I haven't eaten as much, I took a shit or whatever. Like we're talking like 5 kilo fluctuation just from water, glycogen, and hydration.
And that's like what? So like
like 10 pounds. Damn near, right?
It's more, yeah. It's 2.2 keys in a 2.2 keys in a pound.
So that's like
10 to 11 pounds,
a little bit more than 10 pounds. Yeah. Damn.
So I cut the last 9 kilos. I cut was a little like I didn't even do a special diet or anything. I was eating clean. That was it. I kind of screwed up, and like the last weekend, just psychologically, I pigged out a bunch, and then my weight was good, and then the last weekend, I just fucking ate, and I just ate, and then I came in, and I had to cut 25 pounds in like 3 or 4 days. The last 10 pounds, 12 pounds is basically you're just in the sauna. You're just dying in the sauna. Imagine like doing the longest sauna sessions you've ever done, but you can't drink water afterwards. So you're just sauning. You put a little water in your mouth, you spit it out, sauning. Like the amount of organ damage is not talked about enough. Like your liver, your kidneys, like everything. They're just, and it makes a huge difference, man. Like I fought like a purple belt in jiu-jitsu with more experience, and in karate combat there is a level of grappling. Like you can't do takedowns, but you can sweep, you can kind of trip, can't do like a conventional single or double leg, but you can sweep, you can trip, you can kind of reach
floor too, right? Like he could have like did a leg sweep and landed shots, right?
On karate combat, you can do ground and pound. So you can do like a knee on a belly. You can't have both knees go down. You can't do subs, but you can kind of grapple. You can get them in ground and pound. You can hit them in like a tabletop kind of position. That weight made all the difference in the world. He was coming up to 175. I was cutting like 25, 30 pounds to 175.
So he felt great. I'm sure.
He put in my
he couldn't move you around.
Similar to what Jake Paul's doing with Anthony Joshua, where he's not allowing him to get over a certain weight on weight day. He did the same thing for my claws. Even though I was really pissed off because even though it was on a professional card, so technically I have a professional record, but it was, make no mistake, it was absolutely an amateur bout. He put in my clause that I couldn't weigh anything over 175. So I actually came in half a pound under, and that just made me more pissed off, which I think worked in his disadvantage. Like I was really upset. I was like, "Come on, bro."
Is Sam Alvey? Is that Karate Combat? Did you see that Sam Alvey's last fight? That's Karate Combat, right?
Smiling Sam, I believe, is the champion of Karate Combat.
Oh no, he just got his head taken off by this. Oh, bro, bring it up.
See it, dude.
Oh, bring it up. Oh man, dude. And it was one of those ones where who's the UFC fighter with the heart guy that just lets everyone die on the mat? You know what I'm talking about? The ref guy. He doesn't stop.
Yeah. I don't know his name. I know you're talking about though.
Dude, this guy, this ref must have been related to that guy because Sam Alvey gets knocked out, gets back up, gets knocked down again. They let him back up again, and then he just gets flatlined with a head kick.
For him, which are weird and different. Oh, speaking of weird and different, that is a dirty right hand down the pipe. And Sam is hurt bad.
So there you go.
Death touch connects on the champion.
That's the first one.
Smiling Sam Alvey is frowning, and it looks like
he should call it, bro. Call the fight, man. He can't even his legs are noodle.
He's smiling. He must be
I don't like the looks of this at all.
No.
Despain stalks his prey.
His coaches should have called it for him.
Down. Despain. Stop the fight. Ground and pound. And again, Alvey backing back to the feet. Not sure what the referee is needing to see. Oh, come on. Jesus. Rebellis Despain turned him into
Come on.
After that first one, they should have called it. And I think that his coaching team, his training staff should have called it, man.
Dude, that's like 7 years off that dude's life. I mean, that is
bro. Like, come
I think
on,
maybe the reason they wouldn't is because Sam's kind of like I don't know if he was still the champion in this fight, but he was the champion. With a career like Sam's, as long as it's been, he's probably never seeing that championship belt again. And his career is kind of winding, dwindling down. So I kind of see why they wouldn't, even though, it's take years off your life.
Like, dude, he wasn't getting like after that fight, he just wasn't in the fight though. You know what I mean? Like it'd be one thing if he pounds back up. He's like, I'm ready to go, dude. That he was in Mars right there. I like having to just turn it on. Like I saw on Twitter that it was on, and I was like, oh, let me go watch this. I just watched it killed basically. I was like, but yeah, back to working out. So you're working out 3 times a week. What are you doing?
Question before for us.
Oh, all right.
Go ahead.
No, you said you had a fitness.
You had a
question.
fitness.
I was literally the question he was asking me. I was gonna ask you guys because I'm at 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I was gonna ask how often are you guys working out and what's your split look like?
John's crazy. You can go first, dude.
No, you go first. You don't want me to go first.
I can go first, man.
That's a
I'll
good
go
point.
first.
Yeah, let me go first. I do like 4 or 5 days a week.
Okay.
I'm like 4 or 5. It depends. I have 2 young kids, so I have to go at like 5:30 in the morning, or I don't get to go. So I'm usually good for like 4 or 5 of those a week. Sometimes one of them will be on like Saturday. Just depends. But yeah, that's pretty much my split. I'm not in there for that long. You know, I'm like a 45 minutes to an hour. If it's an hour, because I'll go in the sauna like 3 days a week. I'll go in the sauna for 15 minutes. Just mainly because I find it so uncomfortable. Like I don't like it. That's kind of why I do it. Same reason why I take cold showers. I just don't like the way they feel. So I think it's good for the mind to do that. And there's great data on. There's not really any data on cold exposure as there is on saunas. Saunas are very good for you. There's like that famous Swedish study that the sauna 20 minutes a day for 3 days a week decreased all-cause mortality by 40% across like everything, for like cancer, heart disease, all that stuff. So the sauna is real good for you. But honestly, I just do it because I don't like it, and I think it's good to do things that you don't like.
Understood.
But yeah,
What's
here
your
we go.
workouts looking like, bro?
So I break it up really into like back. It's mainly like back and shoulders, and then it'll be like lower half. So it'll be like legs with some type of, I don't want to say core because I know Riley hates that word, some type of like core mobility workout. And then I'll do chest with shoulders again. I try to hit shoulders twice now because my shoulders have just been so bad for so long. I'm just trying to like fix them. They're just like terrible. So that's pretty much, that'll be 3. And then the 4th split will be like that 4th or 5th day. I'll just like mix things in. I kind of like doing full body stuff, like rowing. Like I'll go there and just row for 5,000 meters as fast as I can, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a terrible workout. It's like that. I don't know if you guys row at all, but that is a soul sucking cardio movement. And then I play basketball. I'll just like go play basketball. I'm not good. I'm just that annoying guy that runs around and plays really good defense, gets rebounds. That's kind of my game.
You always need that on a team, though, brother. So
that's my whole thing. It's like, dude, I'll never be the best on the team, but I always got a spot.
Yep.
I'm out there hustling. Always got a spot.
Defense wins championships, baby.
You want me to
All
go,
right, Shine? Let's embarrass us. Go ahead, embarrass us, dude.
I couldn't hear you.
Oh yeah, you can go, brother. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, man, on Mondays I focus on arms, but I still hit legs. So I'm usually probably using the sled, right? And
Nice.
I'm up to, I believe I have some videos on Instagram, but I'm up to like 8 to 9 plates on the sled. So
okay.
Yeah. And then Wednesday is officially leg day, but I still hit some type of a back. You know what I mean? Rather it's lower or upper. And then Friday is chest day, right? And I also hit legs still that day as well. But I'm typically probably doing like the sled, something a little bit lighter, but I can still dig in and see some type of gains, right? So for me, I'm hitting legs Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but leg day focus is Wednesday. Monday is arms, Friday is chest.
So what does a leg day look like?
You're not skipping any leg days, brother.
I love that.
Say that again.
You're not skipping any leg days.
No, but the Monday and Friday days, I'm only really hitting the sled probably for 5 to 6 sets. You know, so I'm not killing my legs like I would on the leg day. So like leg day, I'm hitting the sled. I'm doing squats. I'm doing hamstrings. I'm doing quads, quad raises. Calf raises, hamstrings, quads. And it just depends whether I'm using a dumbbell or I'm actually going to use the machine, depending on how I want to mix up the tension that day. So, but I'm hitting the full leg, right? So sled first to kind of warm up everything. Then I go to squats, and then I go to the iso motions.
How long have you been doing that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, how long have you been doing that kind of like that set that?
I would say
lineup?
I would say a year and a half, because when I first started, I wasn't doing that. Like I would just do Wednesday and that'd be leg day, right? So basically only hitting legs once, per week. You know what I mean? But as a guy who was super skinny, who doesn't never hit the gym, my newbie gains were crazy. You know what I mean? So I put on a lot of weight.
That's what I was
the
gonna
first
say, dude.
year.
How much weight have you put on doing legs through? That's good. Like you've probably put on what, 20 pounds?
So you mean since I started working out?
Yeah.
From the 3 years, I don't want to put my exact weight, but I say this: I was 130 pounds when I started
you're
lifting.
definitely not 130 pounds now.
In October 2020, and I just say I'm, a little around 165.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great.
I'm trying to get a little bigger though, man. Just a tad, about 10 more pounds, about 175 ish. See how that looks, and then kind of just maintain from there.
And what's your style like? Are you doing like hypertrophy? What kind of sets, reps, weight?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking here? What kind of breaks between sets? Like,
we're doing like 3 sets of 6. Yeah, you're doing like kind of higher reps.
So I would say so let me break it down on each day. So Monday, I'm typically doing curls. I'm doing 5 sets, right? And that's 5 sets of 10. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Tricep downs, which I got on there. Those are 5 sets. I use the actual barbell as well, 5 sets. So like for arms, you can really kill arms. So I'm doing 5 sets on pretty much all of those, bro. 5 sets.
All right. So yeah, kind of like
10 reps.
hypertrophy.
10 reps. And then I do shoulders as well. Those are only 3 reps. I mean, 3 reps.
Sets.
I said 3 reps. So 3 sets on shoulders. Anything arm, I'm doing 5 sets on, and they're 10 reps. So 10 reps all the time. Like for anything that's not too
Most
heavy.
of your lifts, most of them. Okay.
But for squats, sometimes it's 8 to 10, or if it's a little heavier, 6 to 8, right? You know what I mean? With a little bit more rest, so it depends. It depends how heavy I'm lifting will depend on the rest time in between sets, right? Because if I'm going for a more heavier lift, there's going to be more rest. If I'm going for, not so much, then. Yeah.
What's the average time in the gym, you think, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Were you talking like an hour, hour and a half? What are we doing?
I would say minimum an hour and a half at the most. Yeah.
Dude, love that. 3 days a week, man. I got to add an extra leg day, and I feel like a bitch.
Well, I got to
right
be
now.
in there that long, though, man. Like, if you're only in there 3 days a week, I need to be in there a minimum an hour compared to somebody like you that's in there 4 or 5 times. You can get away with 30 minutes and, be okay because you're going to make it up them other days.
Yeah,
at least in my opinion.
Dude, I like that. Gets me fired up hearing you do legs basically 3 days a week. That gets me fired up. I love hearing that. That's because, dude, legs are not fun. One thing I would say about squats that I was taught was it's one of those exercises that you're actually better off doing the lower rep range with higher weight because of how taxing it is on your nervous system. Like you're never gonna get, like if you're doing higher reps, like you're never gonna get like the full benefit of it just because of how taxing the movement is on your body. So like I was always taught like, yeah, you focus on like that 6 rep range, 8 rep range tops on squats, because that's like where you're gonna get the most like bang for your buck, as opposed to just doing like your 5 sets of 10 for squats. And it just has to do with like how much your whole body is getting taxed while you're doing that. But every person is different. That's why.
Yeah.
Dude, whatever you're doing is working for you. Keep doing it. Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
Good, Shine. Tell them that you live in the fucking gym. Tell them.
7 days a week.
Yeah, probably at least 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say minimum 6, dude. You're in there pretty much every day.
Yeah. 6, maybe one's like an active recovery day. A lot of it depends on feel. Like I don't really have a clean split. I train a lot of calisthenics right now, a lot of partner acrobatics. And then I go to a lot of I live in Bali right now, and there's a big like kind of social gym life culture. So a lot of my training will kind of revolve around like there's the Cali Club in Bali. You know, they have meetups 3 times a week. I've been going to one, but depending on how my body feels, so I have to really go kind of a day by day basis of like, okay, like did I fuck up my shoulder today? Did I fuck up my elbow? Because I'm working on planche, muscle up, stuff like that, and it's really taxing on the body. Like even yesterday, you can see it on I posted it on Twitter, but I'm doing these throws where I'm throwing a person up and I'm catching them like this, like up in the
When
air.
he says a person, he means a bad bitch. Yes.
Sometimes they're bad, yeah.
But yeah, no, dude, he's literally like throwing chicks up, like catching them. Like, dude, that stuff looks so cool. That looks so cool.
An average session's probably around 3 hours. I have trouble leaving the
Good
gym.
Lord, bro.
It's a trade-off though, man, because like you have to be like really strategic. Because if I spend 4 hours in the gym, like I'll work all morning, I'll work for 5 or 6 hours. Then if I spend 4 hours in the gym, like it's kind of hard. Like you only have so many hours in the day that are kind of like my key focus, key energy hours.
Yeah,
right? So
I agree.
I'm trying to figure out that compromise. Like it would probably be more ideal if I did 2-hour splits, like 2 hour in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. So I have a little more focus and energy. Because that's something I've been struggling with lately. Like if I spend 4 hours like working out hard, you know, my motivation, my desire to work, and plus like everything's dopamine reward. Everything's a dopaminergic reward. If you spend 4 hours in the gym, you hit all these new tricks, you do all these new things, like your dopamine levels for wanting to do work later, they aren't the same level of increase, right? Like if you only spend like 30 minutes or something and you still have all this dopamine, all these kind of key executive functions. So probably at least. And then right now we had someone on last week, Riley, and Riley puts together plans for pro NFL players, pro MMA fighters. So I was waiting for my shoulder injury to fix, but he sent me a really cool kind of athlete training 3 days a week. So that's something I'm going to be incorporating. But again, hard to like get the splits in because I might have a 3 hour, like today I'll have a 2 hour partner acrobatic practice and then maybe go and do 2 hours of Cali Club afterwards. So trying to figure out my own workouts also with these community workouts it's still something I'm navigating.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
The one arm incline press, I did it this week.
Yeah.
I got up to like 85s. I was doing like sets of 6. But it is significantly different with one arm. Like I don't even know what I'm supposed to. I feel like, and what is that, Anchorman? Like I don't know what to do. No, Talladega Nights. Like I don't know what to do with this arm. So I'm like kind of. But dude, it is different. It is way different. Yeah. Like that whole time you're throwing it up, my chest wasn't even. It was like this whole side was in the opposite side was so engaged that was really what I was feeling. But it was cool, man. But I liked that. I thought that was. I haven't asked him for a program yet.
It's like that a lot of the time in partner acrobatics, right? You're using just one side, everything's stabilizing on the other side, but then you have a bad habit of just doing your strong side. So I really need to incorporate a weight plan so the one side's not just like.
Yeah. So do you like not pick people up with your left arm? Is that right? Now that
not
I'm
as much. Yeah, not as much, right?
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, most of it is your right arm. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that makes sense though.
Not just the weight, right? It's the coordination as well. Like you're not just like lifting the weight. Like you might have to like toss, shift, like put your fingers somewhere. Like there's a lot of technique involved.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was one thing that was kind of crazy about being a dock builder was I would use my non-dominant hand so much. Because that's like what would be holding the nails. We were hitting 60 penny nails, dude. They were like this big. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everything we would do, everything was heavy. So like my left arm got so strong just from like holding this stuff up that I would hit with my dominant arm. That like when I got back into the like working out, I realized that. I was like, oh wow, like I actually feel more stable holding these dumbbells with my left arm than I do with my right. And it was mainly just because like that's all that arm was doing was stabilize, holding things as still as I could. Yeah, that was interesting. That blue collar strength is like a whole different thing, man. I thought I was strong in the gym until I went into that, and I was like, oh no, you just have pretty muscles. They're like fake tits. They just look nice. They're useless out here. That was what I learned.
We love fake
farmer
tits
man strength. What they call it,
dude, for real. Nothing more like just disheartening than you see just like this guy with a beer belly just pick up like something that weighs like a 300-pound piece of steel, and you just look at it, know that you could barely turn this thing over. This guy's got it on his shoulder. You're like, how? Like, I watched you ate a cigarette for basically. Like you didn't even like you eat cheeseburgers off the coffee truck. Dude, there was this one guy I never saw him eat. He was like 6'5". We used to. Dude, he had the hugest hands. We used to call him Lump. That's literally what he looked like. And I never saw him eat once. He would just smoke Marlboro Reds and drink Monster Energies. And he was just like a Frankenstein, dude. And it's like, yeah, that's like that farmer strength, man. You can't train that in the gym. Like you can't. Like you're born with that shit. Like I don't know where that comes from.
That's
now,
that
do
natural
you play
strength.
because you're I've seen your videos, you're very lean. Do you do any type of cardio? Do you play any
No cardio, bro. I haven't been doing because I've been trying to get bigger, and it would be so counterproductive for me to do cardio, which is why I haven't got back into jujitsu or boxing, because that's cardio based, right? So it's gonna limit to where I want to get to far as weight. So I want to kind of get to where I'm at in weight and then add that extra into. So I haven't done any cardio, bro, in probably like 3 years, brother.
3 years?
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, when you were last cycle, when you were streaming like that, you weren't working out? You were working out? Not like this.
Dude.
So you were.
I've been working out 3 days a week since 2022, October. No lie.
Okay. So 2022, all right. So that was when you really kicked off. So I'm thinking, I was watching your videos in 2021.
Right. And that was like the hype. So I would say probably.
So like, what are you doing there? Are you working out back then?
During the 22 time? Yeah. From October 22 to all the way to now, I've been working out Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
But like
I've been putting out content or not. Rather, I've been putting out content or not from October 2022 till now, 3 days a week. So
what would you say the height of last cycle was? 2021, right? I would say that was the height of last cycle. So during the height, are you working out, right? So let's just say
that was 2021. Yeah, that was 2021.
That's what I'm saying.
No. I wasn't working out then. I didn't start till 2022 of October.
So you weren't working out then. All right, good. So that was going to be my question. How do you feel? How would you say you feel? Like, what's the difference between the way you feel during that, right? Because kind of your height in that sense, right? Like that's probably the most eyes, most views you have. How did you feel back then to how do you feel now, implementing this complete change in your physical lifestyle? Would you say it had a huge effect on your mental clarity? Do you feel the same? How does that, do they compare at all?
And to make sure I got the question right, are you asking kind of like before I started working out at the peak of my YouTube career compared to where I'm at now as far as working out? They're different, but I will say I do feel different in good ways, right? Better mental clarity, better confidence, better and honestly, it's enhanced my life in every single way imaginable, right? You know what I mean? So, because it's when you work out, you want to eat healthier. You're more disciplined. You're more, you're more organized in a certain way. So these things pour into other areas of your life. And so for me, you know what I mean? It's not just about it's nice having a nice following, having nice views, but at the end of the day, that's not my life. You know what I mean? This is what only the public see. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other things that matter to me. You know what I mean? So I look at things a little bit differently compared to how I look at them back in 2021. You know what I mean? So I look at things I would say a lot differently, actually. So I mean, I appreciated that moment of 2021, but now where I'm at now, I feel like when that happens again, I'm a lot more prepared for it this time, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I think it is so important too to have I think that's why so many people in crypto, they struggle when the market cycles down because they don't have all these other areas of their life that they're working on that are getting better. Like imagine you spend all this time in crypto and you build up this portfolio, right? And your portfolio is the source of your dopamine, your identity, it's everything, right? Mm-hmm. And then you make some poor choices because your brain, your body isn't working right. All of a sudden that's gone. And then you find yourself not only back at square one, you haven't made any progression in any other areas of your life. You have nothing else to fall back. That's why you see people kill themselves in the crypto market because they have nothing else. This was everything. This was their identity. This was absolutely everything. And then that goes. And then they're like, I had nothing. Crypto was my everything, right? Like working out is something like no matter what the market's doing, no matter what the economy's doing, no matter if
It's
you
a
had a bad
lifestyle.
day in business, like you have that thing to look forward to, that thing to fall back, that thing that you see yourself continuously make progress that's in your control, because so many other things aren't in your control in this life, and that is something
I
that you
agree.
can control. You can show up, yes, maybe you get injured or whatever, but even an injury is an opportunity to get better somewhere else in your life. You know, you fuck my friend, these people were trying to rob my friend in like, I think it was like in the Bahamas or something like that. He was in flip-flops. These guys tried to rob him. He was super fast. He was a track star, outran them with a giant backpack on. And then they caught up to him, but he was in a crowd, so they couldn't jump him anymore. They push him with the backpack as he's slowing down. He topples over. He breaks all of the toes on his feet as he's toppling over. Now he has all his toes are broken because he was in flip-flops. He then spends the next 3 months getting insanely good at handstands because he can't do anything on his feet. So he becomes an expert hand balancer.
Damn.
The mindset right there, dude. That's some David Goggins shit right there.
Yeah, bro.
You can't walk on your feet. Walk on your hands.
Man, I know we got a couple minutes.
I put that on.
A couple minutes left, man. We at least got to talk some Giga, man. We at least got to.
Oh yeah.
So share to me the mission and everything. And one thing, I was looking at the chart, dude, and it was at some point, man, I saw the coin get to what, 950 million, close to a billion. Like, what the hell was going on during that time? That is crazy. Like, I was like,
that
damn.
was the height of meme coin mania, right? You get a Coinbase listing. We had bought the IP rights.
Giga's on Coinbase? I didn't know
Giga's
that.
on Coinbase. Giga's on is hop in the chat. They're on Giga's on Kraken. I'm not sure if it's on Binance yet. I don't think it is.
Has it made it to Robinhood yet?
No, Robinhood is such an interesting one, and I personally that's when I think meme coins take off again, is when you see Robinhood start to list real coins. I think that's but yeah, Coinbase. So back then we have the Giga Chad the coin has the IP rights to the guy, Ernest. That is a real man. The Giga Chad meme is a real person. And he is involved with the project. He actually, funny story, he just got onto Twitter like a month ago. Joe Rogan had Elon Musk on the show like last month, and the opening 3 minutes of the show, they were talking about the Giga Chad meme, literally. So like, if that happened like a year ago, that would have sent us to 1 billion. Like right there. But it was really funny because Joe Rogan was basically saying, "Oh, that's not real," and Elon Musk is like, "No, that's like a real guy, I'm pretty sure." And then 2 weeks later, Ernest makes a Twitter account. So now we actually have the Giga Chad guy on X, interacts with some of the posts.
Man, so I can follow him, man. Put that in the private chat or something for me, man.
Yeah.
Or somebody put that in the chat for me so I'll
find that. Yeah. His name is Ernest. I can never say his last name because it's like Ernest Kalamov. Here, I got it right here. But yeah, Giga is not, I like to look at it. It's not a meme coin, it is a meme company, right? So what it does is it takes all the brilliance of memetics, right? The energy, the culture of memetics, but it's also has the IP rights to the guy, Giga Chad, created a fitness line, which launched over a year ago. That's gigafitness.com. We'll definitely.
And that's where all the different,
so
powders and protein powders and stuff like that.
So that's Giga supplements. That's separate. That's a whole other thing. Giga Fitness is the clothes. My 2 shirts were dirty because I wear them to the gym. But like this hat, like that Sean and I have on, there's a QR code on it that you scan, goes right to our link tree, which has all the different links for all that stuff. But Giga supplements are a product line that has really clean whey isolate protein with like a digestive enzyme in it to help like reduce bloating. Has a really good creatine monohydrate mix with a super green mix, really good. And then a pre-workout. Those are all on walmart.com. That's where we launched them, which was really cool. And again, that's just the beginning. We have more products coming out, the whole second generation of products that are
Yeah, that
just
is
as good.
fire, man. That is
Yeah,
fire,
so it's
dude.
really like a meme company, not a meme coin. And that
Mhm.
was, I would say, one of the most important things I learned this cycle. Like
But
you guys were
technically,
just,
it's not a company, right? It's a
no, I just call it a meme company because it's not just based on a picture, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's like actual
That
things
wording, though,
going
is
on.
key, you know.
Yeah, no, so it's, yeah, no, very true. Not a company, more like a brand is what I would call it, if anything. If we were gonna
Mhm.
The
if we
brand.
were gonna call it anything, I'd call it a brand. But
Yeah.
I would say the most important thing I learned this cycle is, like you guys are saying, a lot of these people, they just have, this is all they have, right? And they have their following, they have their portfolio. When it goes down to nothing, they didn't learn anything. With Giga, I've learned so much. I've learned how to create content. I've learned how to work on the backside of this stuff. I learned how to just get really back into fitness hardcore. There's been a lot of good things that I've taken away from being part of this community. I think that is probably the most important part of Giga to society, right? Because the whole ethos is just 1% better. There's like this common misconception that's like, oh, you think you Giga Chad? It's like, no, I don't. None of us will ever look like that. That's not what the point is. The point is trying to be your
The
best
Shine
self.
says different.
Yeah. Shine said a line one time that I will never forget. He goes, my friend said I have a face that looks like it could be on a coin. And it is so true. Shine looks like if Thomas Jefferson took Tren and D-ball. That's what it looks like. But
Four
yeah,
score and 1,000 milligrams later.
But yeah, that's been my favorite part about this community is just it kind of brings back like that old school locker room vibe. Everyone's just holding each other accountable, getting
Yeah.
healthy in a time where like men have become so soft. Just even the optics of men have become so soft.
Yeah.
So, and the pendulum always swings though, right? So you're kind of watching it swing back, and it's just like perfect timing. So while the market's been blood red, we've just been building and focusing on stuff outside of the market, like our lives. You just said,
Absolutely, man.
like I think that part is so important. And another cool thing
Yeah.
is like it's a bunch of normies that hold the coin, which I think is interesting because they don't stare at the charts. They don't know what the chart is. And I could say that personally because I was a dock builder in New York City. That's like a heavy construction worker. And I got like hundreds of guys in on the coin. And it was all just based on they knew the meme. They liked the idea. They thought it was cool. Some of those guys bought as high as $800 million market cap. They don't. Doesn't, they have a job. They don't look at this. This is an investment like a stock, but they don't plan on. When I pitched it to them, I said, dude, this is like a decentralized Nike, man. We're trying to build something here, something special. Like this isn't some quick flip thing. That's not what this is. We're trying to build something for longevity. So those guys all stuck around, that's I think that's another unique thing and why Coinbase was a big deal because I onboarded all those people like download a Phantom. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many hours I spent on the phone, like download Coinbase, download a Phantom app. I'm going to show you how to do that. I made a whole document and everything. But yeah, it's I'm super excited about it. I think it's I just think it's good for society. People understand it. People know the meme. I mean, the White House uses the meme. The Department of Defense for the U.S. military uses the meme. I mean, the meme is so it's everywhere right now. And again, it's synonymous with like masculinity and self-discipline, things that I think our society needs and men tend to gravitate to naturally. I think a lot of this other stuff is very forced onto people, right? Like this like suicidal empathy, just we got to be nice to everyone. I got to be like, I just don't find that's how people are, men are generally speaking. And I think that this kind of taps into the other side of that. Like, yeah, don't be an asshole. Like, I don't believe in that. Like to me, Giga Chad is the guy in the gym that helps the other people in the gym, like that's something I do. I help. One of the cool things for me is I've helped so many people on crypto Twitter with fitness since like starting this, not even just in the Giga community and other communities like SPX, like just, I enjoy that. It's something I've done my whole life, so I think that's cool. Helps give me a sense of purpose, helps me keep good people accountable, which I think is another good thing. A lot of people just don't have someone to keep them accountable. And that's all they needed, like sometimes people just need a little bit Just that that one message, like, "Hey, bro, you hit it today." That's all they need. They just never had it, you know. And I think that's one cool thing about these communities, that there's no metric to that, right? You can't study that from a TradFi point of view. They don't see that, right? You can only feel that, and you can only feel it if you're part of it. So I just think time will come for memes. Until then, we'll keep working out, interviewing people like you, just having awesome conversations. But yeah, I'm super bullish on Giga long term. Super bullish. We got to send you a hat. We got to send you some stuff.
I'll definitely
talk
rock it,
later.
bro. I'll definitely
Yeah,
rock
no,
it for sure.
Nah,
I got
love
an
your
idea
message, dude.
too. I got an idea. I have no idea if you guys have done it yet, but I do have an idea. I mentioned to you guys, after this.
Awesome. Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's talk. I think the sky's the limit there too. There's so many cool different things we could do marketing wise, just like fun stuff, workout stuff. Again, the clothes are really good. Like, they're not just some like print on demand stuff. These are like real quality clothes. The hat alone is like a high quality hat. It's not just like a shitty regular hat. So it's quality stuff. So I'm really excited. We put a lot of work into it, man. A lot of work, and it's just getting started. To be honest, like, I haven't gotten bearish. I don't get scared. I just keep doing what I'm doing. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like the gym, dude. Like, people understand that you don't walk into the gym and get buff in a day. It's not how it works. Happens over time.
Yeah, I think some of those key points, not much to say. Mang really went full Rain Man on
He
that.
did. He did, man.
Yeah, when you look at Giga, it's it's probably the most widely universal meme, right? And it's the only meme that I've found that you can actually resonate with on a personal level. Obviously, if you look at market caps and kind of the economic influence, obviously Dogecoin is, that's the biggest meme per se, right? But no one was, Elon pushed that. That was kind of a phenomena. It was a first mover, and it does have a piece of internet culture, but no one like deeply resonates with. No one says like, man, this guy's a fucking Doge. You know what I mean? Like, Giga Chad's something that you could hear on a Joe Rogan podcast or in a Mr. Beast video. It has this deeply ingrained roots, not only in internet lore, but in current cultural zeitgeist as well. And that makes it so rare. Mog kind of has that as well. People like Gen Z in particular will say mogging and stuff like that. But I would argue not to the same degree. So Giga really hits this like interesting route that, again, whether it's on Joe Rogan, Mr. Beast, Homeland Security, it not only is this hilarious, funny, constantly, because what are meme coins, right? But it's meme coins are a piece of like that's why we see in the trenches all the time. Like, what's the meta? What's the narrative, right? It's attention currency. So to have something that's so deeply ingrained, but continuously culturally relevant, that has that sense of what's the hardest part with building a business? It's getting that brand identity. Companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars trying to build a brand identity that Giga Chat already has. Like, there's literally ways of advertising this. Think about how much it would cost to get Mr. Beast to talk about your meme. How much it would cost. You literally couldn't buy Elon Musk and Joe Rogan talking about your meme. You couldn't
they would never.
And then, so you have all of that, but then at the same time, you have this, I would argue so few, if any, memes actually give back value to their users. Yes, we all have this bag bias. When the number goes up, we're stoked, right? And the bag bias is number going up validates some sort of thesis that isn't accurate, that doesn't hold weight on its own. With something like Giga, because there's this common underlying goal, it gives value back to their users by inspiring them to become better. Because what is the Giga Chad but someone that's realized their full potential through working their ass off, but at the same time have this stoic, effortless ease about everything they do in life. They put all that time in the gym so that when it's time to go up on stage, they just smile and they say yes, because they know everything they've done already has prepared them for that moment. So it's the only meme that I found that resonates with me deeply on a soul level. And I think that's what makes it so unique. And that's what makes it so special. And then when you combine that with everything they're actually building, yes, other meme coins will create merch or whatever, right? But would you really want to wear that merch? You know what I mean? Like, unless you're a holder in that community and you've actually made money, would you really want to wear that shirt? Is that something norm? People are always LARPing and saying, oh, when the normies come, they're going to be interested in our cat, fuck, dog, Inu merchandise. No, they're not. Of course they're not. The only reason you're interested in that, the only reason it makes any sense is because you made money off that, right? This is something that normal people are actually interested in, that they resonate with the meme, that regardless of holding this coin, you see that merch and go, oh, Ernest. Like, I've been following this guy for fucking years, man. This guy, there's so many bodybuilders out there that say Ernest inspired them to start their journey. And he hasn't put out any products on Giga Chat or anything. That's why as soon as he posted about the supplements on Instagram, that shit went viral. Why? Because so many people in crypto, they try to monetize a product or an audience before they built it. And real influencers know you got to build that audience first. So he builds that audience, and then people just want, because there's a universal law of reciprocity. When you just give value to people, they're going to want to reciprocate that. And that's something Ernest has done. And that's, yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah, I love that. But dude, we'll definitely Mike, I definitely want to send you some stuff. I really appreciate you coming on, dude. It is so cool to be talking to you. Thinking of last time I saw you, I was sweating watching your video on YouTube because I couldn't figure out that the browser I trust well. So it's dude, you look great. I'm glad to see you back on the timeline, man. I'm glad you're doing good. You look healthy. You look happy. I love to see that,
brother. I appreciate it.
And yeah, dude, we'll stay in touch. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you and seeing you back on the timeline, man. It's great seeing you.
Man, pleasure meeting y'all two in person. Shine, man, pleasure meeting you, man. Man, it's a pleasure meeting you guys, man. We have to do this again in the future.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Right, once you get to 175, all right?
All right, man. Let's do it.
All right, bro. Have a great night.
All right,
Stay
man.
Giga, bros.
Stay Giga.
Most of us often chase rather pumps than established memes. And a green candle is somehow spoiled for us until it's screenshot. We stare at charts, forgetting it changes nothing. We watch charts, but not ourselves. This is a disaster. For as a result of confusing dopamine hits with actual profit, we are destroying our net worth. We are so tied up in FOMO and charts that we've lost all conviction. Time to wake up. What is alpha? Obviously, nobody can say, because it isn't just drawing lines on charts. It isn't rotation meta, that's just an idea. Alpha is the Giga cycle cannot be explained in words.